I guess 2025 is the golden year, and 2025 has turned out to be a golden year for Haranga as well. I've got to thank Lodge Partners for a number of things, not only the opportunity to speak today, but the project, one of the projects we're going to talk about, Lincoln in California, came across my desk last October, and that's partly because of Paris. And then we've had two raisings since then. In the last 12 months, we've raised $20 million, and Lodge Partners certainly led the way on both those. So thanks a lot to Lodge Partners. Now, Haranga Resources does have a Senegalese West African uranium deposit, but what we're talking about today is gold. As I said, in October last year, we had a look at a project called Lincoln and started doing due diligence on it. And March, we made the decision to purchase that project. It's in California, and we were very sceptical when we went in there because of the reputation that California has for mining. But we were pleasantly surprised by a number of things. The area where we are with that project is pro-mining. They also voted 65% Trump. And you can buy Make American Great Again hats at the local store. So that was a surprise. Also, the permitting situation over there is much simpler than we expected, and the project that we have purchased is fully permitted, and it's much more simplistic than what is coming up for Western Australia. The other project that we'll talk about today is our Senegalese gold project. And that came about because of the Lincoln Gold Project. We had to assess our projects before we made a decision on how to deal with them. And we had anomalies at Ibel South, and we needed to drill it to work out what the value of that was. And we were pleasantly surprised with those results. So the Californian project is on the mother lode, and that's... any geologist in the room will know what that is. We know about it from when we graduate. The great gold rush of the 19th century, go west young man, paint your wagons, all of that relates to the mother lode, and in fact the word mother lode comes from that gold rush. It didn't exist in the lexicon before that. So the mother lode, who needs that? So this is the Lincoln project, and it's at Sutter Creek in California. We're 60 kilometres southeast of Sacramento, and what we've picked up here is 6.8 kilometres of the mother lode. Now, historically, the mother lode is a 198 kilometre long geology that has hundreds of mines on it. It has produced about 35 million ounces since it was discovered in the 1840s. And we have 6.8 kilometres in the area, the richest part of the mother lode. The richest 25% of the mother lode is Jackson Plymouth, and Lincoln sits in the middle of that. So what we inherit here is a permitted mine. In California, you need a conditional use permit, which is a perpetual permit, as long as you stay within the guidelines within that. And we have that. So we could go mining tomorrow. We have inherited infrastructure. There's $19 million spent on this project since it was discovered in the 80s. And we have that as a gift for us.
And that's considered.
Yep. So we have if you want the optimistic view on any of this, and you want the stuff I can't tell you about how many million ounces we think is there, just talk to Paris. So Lockie, you need to talk to Paris.
I'll surmise it at the end.
So we've got a functioning mine that hasn't really produced. So in the 1980s, a company engaged some consultants to go and look on the mother lode for the best place to restart gold mining. There were two consultancies, and they both selected Sutter Creek, but they selected an area here that was within our licences, but not part of the Lincoln Comet deposit. The Lincoln Comet deposit was a virginal discovery. It's blind, it doesn't come to the surface, and it was discovered from an arsenic in soil anomaly. So since then they've drilled 30,000 metres into it, and in 2015 there was a NI 43-101 resource, which is currently non-compliant, not because anything changed in the resource, but because the reporting rules of the NI 43-101 changed. And that was 286,000 ounces at 9.3 grams per tonne. Now that material still exists, but it's not compliant. Now these are some of, that's the yellow there, that's our 286, well sorry, that's 170 of the 286,000 ounces that we have. And the drill holes in there are some of the results that you've got through there. So this is a high grade deposit. It has a high lower cutoff of 4.2 grams per tonne, which is historical. And we will be redoing that. So this is the green are our tenements, and you can see in there, you can see Lincoln Comet and Median. That's our 286,000 ounces. All these other mines are historic, but none of the mines in this area stopped mining because they ran out of ore. The majority of them stopped mining in 1942 because of legislation that redirected manpower to the war effort. And a number of them didn't restart. The mines flooded during the war years, and gold was $35 an ounce when they came back, so they didn't bother to restart them. I don't know of any of those mines that doesn't have resources at the base of them. We can't talk about them because we don't have the supporting information, but even within our own 6.8 kilometres, there's significant resources at the base of those mines, and it's a matter of getting an access to it. We have a decline. It's part of the infrastructure that we inherit. It's an 880 metre long decline, and we have 900 metres of level drive development. We have an operating mill. We have offices, workshops and equipment. We have a tailings storage facility. So we are all ready to go. But at the moment we have the intention is to go and prove that resource up and come up with a figure. We're currently at 286,000 ounces with a 4.2 gram per tonne cut-off. We will grow that by lowering the cut-off alone to 2 or 1.5, which is rule of thumb for an underground mine. So other mines in this area, the deepest mine in the area is the Argonaut Kennedy. It's the deepest mine on the Mother Lode, and at the time it was the deepest mine in the world. That is 2.4 kilometres deep. Within our licences, the deepest mine we have is the Central Eureka, and that is 1.4 kilometres. Our 286,000 ounces extends only to the end of drilling, which is 150 metres vertically. So we're about 10% of the potential depth of that resource. If it extends, if it repeats, we can't say that, but the probability that it does is excellent if you look at all the other mines and all the other deposits on the Mother Lode. So we think that we're at an exciting time here. We are dewatering the shaft, the decline. We started dewatering in August when we got the keys to the project. We've only had it since August, and since then we have got the mine back into the active status with the government. We've started dewatering, we've bought equipment, we've let the drill program, drill contract out, and the drill steels arrived on site last week. We're still dewatering. We're down at crosscut, between crosscut 3 and 4. Drilling starts at crosscut 3, and once we get past crosscut 4, the drill should arrive. I'm there next week, and I expect by the end of next week that the drill rig will be there, and hopefully we'll be turning. So what we'll be looking for out of this drill program is just to bring the 286 up to JORC compliancy. But we will also be putting in some extensional holes because the potential for repeats is excellent and the potential for extensions is excellent. You can see the bottom photo there, or the bottom image there, is the modelling that we did on the known mineralisation in the database from information that we had during our due diligence. So you can see the different lode systems, a Lincoln Comet and a Median and Spring Hill South. Spring Hill South isn't in our 286,000 ounces. The information there is much less than what we have for the rest of it, but we do have one drill hole in it and we have level assay information from the old mine. We think there's about 300,000 to 400,000 ounces in Spring Hill South. So we expect that by drilling Lincoln Comet, we'll bring it into JORC compliancy. That'll come up at about 400,000 ounces, and the grade will drop from 9.3 to about 5 or 6. And we think that we should be able to bring South Spring Hill into the exploration target category at about 300,000 ounces. We also will be drilling in the possible repetitions at depth zone, and if we hit something there, we expect that the repeat of that would be about the same as the Lincoln Comet. So the goal of the first drill program here is to show how we can get to 1 million ounces, and then the next drill program will prove that. And we are very confident that these 6.8 kilometres contains 1 million ounces, and we're very confident that there are multiples of that through the system, not only through the extension of the Lincoln Comet, the extension of the South Spring Hill, but there's the material at the base of Keystone, El Dorado, Talisman, all of those mines that we can't get to at the moment. We know it's there, and there is other potential within the area. So this is the infrastructure that we inherit. There's been over $90 million spent on this project. The decline and the underground development themselves is the major part of that. But we have a mill. Now, the CUP that we have, the mining licence, restricts us to 315,000 tonne per annum. So we have a 315,000 tonne per annum mill. It has operated, but there hasn't been massive production out of this. It's only operated on bulk samples, but it does work. We have the workshop, we have the laydown area, we have a portal, and we have the decline, as we mentioned. So Lincoln Comet is going to grow and grow and grow, and we expect that by this time next year, we'll be discussing what we intend to do in the terms of production. If we can point to 1 million ounces and the second drill program can start to prove that 1 million ounces up, then we have better than 10-year mine life. And we think that that's the point at which we will be pushing a button on go or no go. And at the moment, it looks like it's go. Within the region that we didn't talk about there is that there are other projects that are available in that area, and we intend to pick up, or at least attempt to pick up, a couple more, and each one of these has the potential for another 1 million ounces or more. And these mines, the people in this district are mining proud, they're pro-mining, and so they want us to get up and do something with these mines. A lot of the owners are aged, and they want their legacy to be that their project remains as a mining project. So the growth at Lincoln will just continue, and it is an exciting project. The grades are going to be, the historic grade of the 35 million ounces produced is 9. So that's using a 4.2 lower cutoff. We lower that cutoff, we think that we will be around 6, and that's a pretty healthy underground grade as it is. So when we made the decision to go ahead with Lincoln, we had to assess what we were going to do with our Senegalese West African projects, and we have the Ibel South Project there. We have a Senegal. We're in the Birimian, which is the gold-rich zone in the area. Most of it's in Mali, but there's 40 million ounces in the Birimian, and we have a small project right down in the corner, 900 kilometres from Dakar, but right next to Guinea. We're 70 k's from one mine, or 80 there, 50 from the other, and they're major mines operating in the district. So we are in gold country, we are in gold geology, but there is a masking laterite that runs through these properties, and so the common process there, instead of soil sampling, is termite mound sampling. And basically the termites burrow deep for moisture and bring that material up to the surface. It's very common in there. We actually do it in the north of Australia as well, and in other jurisdictions where it's arid territory. So we had completed termite mound sampling on our project. In the picture there, that's termites mound sampling is the back picture, and then we have our drill holes overlaid on that. So to determine what we were going to do with our projects, we had to drill it. We had to drill these things. It was wet season. We get 4 months of wet season a year, which means we can't go on the ground. And the only project that we could actually get a drill rig to, because it's up on the top of the laterite, was our number 3 priority target out of the termite mound sampling. So we drilled that. The results, we knew that we'd hit mineralisation. We hit the right geology. We hit the right sulphides, quartz veining, silicification, all of the things that hallmarks of the mineralisation in the mines in the district, but we were pleasantly surprised with the tenor of what we actually hit. And you can see in there's 20 metres at 6.5, and there was 24 metres at 4. So really good for a first pass air core drilling program, and we're pretty excited by that. So what we have is we have hit high grade mineralisation for Senegal. Over a 700 metre long strike with widths up to 24 metres. So that was pretty good for a first pass. As we speak, I'm expecting a call tonight from my geologist, my COO, and I expect him to tell me that we just completed the last hole of a 3,000 metre program that we commenced 3 weeks ago. So those results will be coming out as well. So what happens from here with us is that we will start getting the results from our Ibel South Project, which has excited a lot of people. Next quarter, we will be drilling again in Ibel South, but using RC to try to get to priority 1 and priority 2 target. And then we'll get those results. We will start getting the results from our underground drilling, which hopefully will start next week. We will get those before the end of the year, and we will complete our MRE in the first quarter of next year. So we think that we've got a pretty good couple of projects, and we're very excited about them. So thank you.